Welcome to Point Blank. This is your host, Panama Crypto. Today our guest is John Wick, or better known as Zero Hedge. He's vastly experienced derivatives trader on legacy markets and currently sharing his knowledge on crypto. He has a fast-growing crypto educational community on Discord, which is completely free. Welcome, John. Good to have you on Point Blank, my man.
Hey, Panama. It's good to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Let's kick it off. So can you shed some light on who John Wick is?
Sure. So, as a lot of you know, John Wick is a action movie character. It's one of my favorite action movies. And I'll say this, when I made the John Wick character for Twitter, I noticed that his last name was Wick, and naturally being a trader, the nerd in me noticed, Wick like a candle wick. So I chose the John Wick character, who I am behind the name. I am a full-time trader, option trader that's been doing this for 15 years now. In 2016, late 2016, I had a friend of mine who was in the hedge fund business, and he could not stop talking. He was in a macro hedge fund trader, and he could not stop talking about this thing called Bitcoin. And naturally, the only things that I heard about Bitcoin at the time were all bad things, right? Nothing to be proud of. So naturally, that spurred my curiosity, actually, and I joined Twitter, and to find out more, I bought my first Bitcoin in early 2017, January. And naturally, we went through that bull market. So it took my attention off of all my other trading, and I started focusing on this crypto market, right? And I stayed in, and of course, we went through the crash, beginning of 2018. So that's how the John Wick came about, and that's who I am behind the John Wick name.
So where does John Wick spend all his crypto and fiat?
Well, my girlfriend would disagree that I spend it all on her, but I do have hobbies like some of you guys have seen. I do like my sports cars, and I do like restoring old planes as a hobby with my family. But I tell you what, when you get to this level of investing and you realize that you can actually, be successful consistently investing, you will notice that you start comparing everything that you want to buy to what you could make using that money, reinvesting it. And I find myself asking this question with every big purchase that I want to make. And alternatively, I always end up reinvesting my money. So besides my hobbies and my girlfriend and my family, most of my money, most of my fiat goes back to reinvesting. When it comes to my crypto, specifically my Bitcoin and Ethereum, I don't spend it. That stays in cold storage where I cannot touch it and nobody else can touch it. And I do think long-term, that is the best for everyone, is to have a long-term hold account on these cryptocurrencies, and then to take a small portion to where you can, generate some alpha with that. But to recap, I don't spend my crypto, and the fiat that I do make, I try to reinvest it as much as I can.
So John, how you got into trading?
It started in 2006. I met a guy, actually, it's funny, at gym, and we became really, really good friends. And he was 15 years older than me, or 16 years older than me. And this guy just seemed like he had everything going for him. I mean, to me, as a younger kid at the time, I was around 21, 22. This guy had, a nice car. He had a BMW M5, and he had a Range Rover, and he had a big, nice house and a nice wife. And most intriguing of all, it seems like this guy made his own lifestyle. And the more I got to know him, the more I realized that the lifestyle he had was something that I wanted. And then I found out that this guy was making all of his money from the confines of his home, and he never worked for anybody. So that's what really appealed to me. And at the time, when I first met this guy, I didn't even know what a stock was. Right. And he was a full-time options trader of over 20 years. This guy kind of had a story like I have now. And so, yeah, I made best friends with this guy, and I told him that I wanted to learn stocks, and I was very serious, and I had nothing else going on in my life or for me at that point. I had no skill set, but I had saved up some money. I've always been a good saver, and he took me under his wings. We actually opened up a small group just for the two of us, an LLC. And we put our money in a joint account, and he traded. And every morning I would go to his house before the market opened, 30 minutes before the market opened. I would show up. We would go over the pre-market, and he would trade. And I just, I got so, I got so taken by this that I started learning, and every night on the weekends, you would find me at Barnes and Nobles, and I'd be taking my Adderall and just reading book after book after book while all my friends were, at the bars and partying and having fun. And needless to say, a year later, we were alternating days where he would trade one day and I would trade the next day. And it was a good relationship. It was the perfect start to my trading career. I could not have asked for anything better or been luckier to find the person that I did. And that's why I always advise trying to find someone that's the best at what they do if you're trying to get into this business. A few years after we were together, I went out on my own, and I've been trading ever since, man, and just been getting new mentors and improving myself, constantly improving, constantly refining. But that would be my story of how I got into trading.
Very fortunate to find a mentor that put you under his wing.
Yeah. Trust me. Once I had that one mentor and I learned so much from him, I automatically knew that in my life, whatever I wanted to do in life, the very first step was finding the best at who does that, and finding a way to make them like you and make them want to help you. And to be honest, I found that most people want to help. Most people want to help, and the mentors, the people that I approached that I wanted to be mentors, I would say about 8 out of 10 turned me down. But I will also say that the people that turned me down was because they literally couldn't find time to mentor me. But those people that turned me down still helped me, and I want to make that known, that reach out to people, because people generally want to help others. But yeah, to confirm what you said, finding a mentor is the number one thing you could do to help your trading career and to get it kickstarted, for sure.
What advices you got to anyone wanting to make it a career?
I would say that you have to be honest with yourself first and foremost, and what your expectations are as a starting trader in this industry, right? Competing with everyone else that's trying to do the same thing. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to look at your current lifestyle and your living situation, and you have to get mathematical about it. You have to make a game plan of how you're going to save money to start being a trader, right? You have to have funds to be able to make a return and to make a living. My next advice, again, I'm going to reiterate, find you a mentor. Find you the best mentor that you can. Find a mentor that's a full-time trader themselves. Anyone can have a lucky winning streak, right? It happens in every bull market. There's tons of traders that become geniuses. Look for the ones that are able to make it through all market cycles, even if they're not able to, to really kill it and make the 1,000% returns. Look for someone that can consistently make a profit, right? They're onto something, and find you a mentor. The next step I would say is make you a solid trade plan, right? Draw you up a trade plan, and after you have that trade plan, backtest it. Backtest it and backtest it and backtest it until there's no more variables to backtest it, right? And do that through all market cycles. I can't stress this enough. It's easy to make money through a bull market. It's not easy to make money through a sideways or down market like we've seen, in crypto 2018. So find your mentor and make sure he's the best mentor that you can find. Once you've done doing that and you've made your trade plan and found a mentor, start off small. Start off small, and it's all about building that confidence in the beginning and finding your position size, and start off with a small position size and see how you do, and build that confidence and start adding, start adding every 6 months, or even every year, start adding to your position sizing. Piece of advice I would say is know that you're going to go through self-doubt. You're going to go through phases of self-doubt in this business. If you don't go through phases of self-doubt in this business, you're not being honest with yourself, right? You're going to get to points to where you ask yourself, is this really the wise decision that I've made, right? You're going to have these down periods. And the only thing that I can tell you is that when you go through these down periods, when you're having drawdowns or whatever, you got to look within yourself, and you have to find that courage and passion to keep going, right? If you love trading, right? If you love trading, you really have to push through those times and embrace them. I made a post about this on my Twitter yesterday. You have to embrace when you fail and failures, and you have to learn from them, and you have to feel comfortable being in uncomfortable situations so that you can grow, right? That's how you become a full-time trader. That's how you make it as a career. I will also note that for myself, when I started trading, I wanted it so bad. And my mentor would tell me, he said, you're probably not going to be able to do this. He goes, mathematically, it makes sense, but emotionally and everything that comes with trading, it's a lot more than people realize. And boy, was he right. But he did prepare me. So if I could prepare other people, I would tell them this, that, when I started trading, I told myself that if I could even just make $30,000 a year, I mean, that's nothing. If I could even just make $30,000 a year, I knew that I would rather do that and trade for myself and work for myself than to ever work for anybody else. Okay. And you have to have that same mindset. You have to have that same determination, courage, and passion to keep going. Lastly, I would say that plan for your drawdowns. Plan for your drawdowns and expect the worst, and make sure that your lifestyle can handle that during those times, right? Plan for your lifestyle, how you're going to change it and how you're going to get by if you have a worst case scenario. That, let's say the first year you don't make any money. Did you save enough? Are you prepared enough? Right? It all comes down to planning. The trading is all about planning and making sure you can see around the corners and expect the worst. So with that said, that would be all my advice to everyone that's starting out as a trader, is just, stay passionate, keep that courage, don't get down, and just be smart about your decisions. Plan everything out and treat this like it's a business, because that's what it is. It is a business. That'd be my advice.
It's a great set of advices, John.
Thank you. Thanks.
In my case, when I started, as I mentioned before, it was upon a challenge of my wife to dump Facebook for a month. It was a challenge, and I ended up deleting my account and completely got myself immersed in crypto Twitter. And the funny thing is, at that moment in my life, I was like getting rid of debt because I had a really good 9-to-5 job, and I didn't have any savings at that moment, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna put $400 in Ripple. And then Ripple went like, I don't know, 35x, and those 400, yeah. And it was, I remember the day, it was April 1st 2017, the first pump, major pump. And basically I felt like a magician, man. My confidence was up the roof. And that's part of the problem of analysis. And as I mentioned a few podcasts before, the problem of the bull season is that gives you so much confidence that you think that you can do this in a full market cycle, but some people are not able to do it. And I, being a self-taught on everything I know, on most of the things I know, obviously trading, at the beginning I didn't have a mentor, and I was doing pretty well on the bear cycle, part of the market cycle. And mid, what was it? Mid 2019, my confidence was really down because I had made a very bad uh, trades, especially after quitting my 9 to 5. So I was self-doubting myself about doing the leap of faith and whatnot, and quitting my 9 to 5, and thinking like, oh boy, I quit a 6-year old tenure job that was paying really good, and now I'm here in trading and doubting myself. And I've always had friends in crypto Twitter, and this was the only time that somebody that helped me to gain my confidence back was the Crypto Mask. Shout out to him for helping get myself up and mentoring me through the fucking storm. It's very important for people to have mentors, especially on those situations where you think you cannot go beyond what you've gone through. So great set of advices. So John, what current projects you got going on right now?
What current projects do I have going on? Man, I've got a lot of coals in the fire, my man. I've got a lot of coals in the fire. Um, I'll start by saying that every project, all the projects that I have, it's from the same goal and vision that I had, which was to take my experience and to really try and pay it forward, like the people that have helped me and paid it forward to help me. Right? I kind of have this challenge where I want to see if I can take my experience and really help traders become successful and share my knowledge. Um, so with that said, I thought, how would I do that? Well, I have to reach people. So um, I do have a Discord that's going on. One of the things that I've made just recently that I've poured a little bit of my heart into, and I'm very proud of it at this point. I think it's turned out great. Is I've made an indicator, which was my first step, and my goal with this indicator was to teach traders patience. I look at crypto Twitter, and I see so many people over trading, and this comes from the desire to have engagement, constant engagement, right? We look at crypto Twitter, and every 10 seconds there's somebody making 1,000% return, right? And it almost makes us feel like we have to always be in the game and always make a trade, and if we're not making a successful trade right now, we're losing, right? We're not participating, fear of missing out. And when it comes to trading, nothing could be more detrimental than to be an overtrader and to have these feelings like you always have to have something going on. So to recap, I wanted to make an indicator that taught traders that if you're patient and you wait for setups with higher probability, that's how you become a successful trader. And I think I've accomplished that in making the indicator that I have. And you know what, this brings me to a point. I was thinking about this. This is my first podcast. So I'll tell you what, if any one of your followers or your listeners would like to try my indicator out, I will make a post today specifically for your members. And if they send me their TradingView username to 0hedge_, that is my tag, I will send you guys the indicator for free for this month of August. I'll send it to you guys. Just send me your username from TradingView, and I will have it sent out to you today. And all I ask is if you could just give me some feedback and let me know how you like it. So far, I've had hundreds of people sign up, and not one person has asked for a refund. So I guess that's a good sign. Other than that, I do have a website that I'm making. I want to put bots on there. I want to put screeners on there, for breakouts, for volatility breakouts. As I said, I've got a lot going on, man. And then my Discord, which we can get more into that, which is just blowing up. So those are the couple of things I've got going on, as my indicator, my website, and my Discord channel. And it all goes back to my vision of just helping people become a better trader and sharing my knowledge, because it's great, making gains myself. But I tell you what, I found that the one thing that I love almost as much as trading is teaching. I really get a lot out of teaching. It's really cool. I really love it. And I think that might have come from my mentors teaching me and me just enjoying that experience. So yeah, that's the current projects that I have going on right now.
So you're keeping busy.
I'm keeping very, very busy, brother. My girlfriend is complaining a lot.
So you mentioned bots. Do you mean automated trading bots with algorithms?
Yeah. So I've had a really great response to the indicator. If you go on my Discord, you'll see it all day long. Just people posting, their gains and how much they're making. And this isn't hype. I mean, literally, if you go on my Discord, they're loving it. And that is what kind of made me think to myself that I would like to make some bots as well. So that is in the making. I don't put out. I'm not going to put out content or a product if I don't fully believe in it. So I don't know how long this is going to take, but what I can promise you is that when I do release bots, they're going to be good. And yes, they are in the making. Also with screeners, right? People look for breakouts, and that's all fine, right? Price action breakouts, but I'm going to have screeners for every type of setup, from price action to volatility breakouts, and just making my website a hub for everything trading, and the same with the Discord. I will say that the Discord that I have going on now, there's probably not a better place to learn options. I do post my option trades on there as well. I'm trading crypto options right now on FTX, which I'm loving. It's a bit different than stock options, but I'm getting the hang of it. And yeah, those are the couple of things that I'm focusing on right now.
I've been using the indicator and I really like it. Been using it for what, a month now? Less than a month, and I use it on all my chartings. Oh.
Good.
Legacy and crypto. Props to you,
great.
man. Thanks
great.
for
Yeah,
sharing.
And we have write-ups on our Discord all about it. Remember, the Discord's free, so if you want to go, just go there and check out what the indicator's about and read about it. I'm glad you like it a lot. And that remind me, I need to send you an updated version. I'll give you the new version before anyone else gets it. I've added a few other things on there, divergences and when to take profit and stuff like that. But I appreciate that, man. Thanks for using my indicator, and I'm glad that you like it.
No problem, man. This episode is brought to you by PrimeXBT, the exchange that makes possible to trade with leverage on legacy markets from a single Bitcoin-based account. So, John, what's up with that Discord? What is your long-term plan for it?
My long-term plan for the Discord. Well, I will tell you that when I started the Discord, it was just like an idea, right? The same way I started the Twitter, just like an idea. Let me try this out, and my idea was that I wanted to just put down all of my information about options trading in general and kind of just teach people about the options trading. I will say that I wasn't ready for the response that I got. We got 1,000 followers in the first day and a half. So it didn't take long for me to realize that I have to put some work into this, that I do have followers that I need to be responsible to. So just kind of recapping, my long-term goal now, it's turned into a community that is bigger than just options. I have people there that are just really making this a wonderful place to be. They're helping each other. They're showing each other setups, and it's expanding more than I thought that it would. Overall, my long-term goal for it, though, would still be to be the number one place for options education. The only place that you can probably go to learn from a 15-year veteran of options trading. So that would be my overall goal, but it looks like it's turning into something a little bigger than just options itself.
So what's the big deal about options? Like, I've tried to get my hands into a introductory course about options, specifically for crypto, but I can't find anything. Are you gonna do something about that, John?
Well, I can tell you that when I first started trading, I was thrown into the fire pit. My mentor was a full-time options trader. So before I made my first even stock option, I think I never bought and sold a stock until I had been trading for 2 years options already. So I totally understand, when people look at options and they get confused. I think that the book definitions do a lot of injustice to options. I think it's a lot harder to understand, and it takes someone to really break it down in layman's terms. But I'll tell you what, in my 15 years of trading, I'm always curious. I always keep an open mind. When I came to crypto, I looked into leverage trading, and I started asking people and learning about, these platforms to make sure that I wasn't missing out on anything. And I'll say that leverage trading does have its place. I do trade some leverage trades. I actually trade on Prime, just like you do. When I do my leverage trades, waiting for my option trades to play out. But to recap, from 15 years of trying everything, I still come back to the same conclusion that there's absolutely no trading vehicle and instrument like there is of trading options. It just allows you to control and manage your positions and your risk unlike any other thing that there is. And I'll give you an example. Okay. When you're leverage trading, one of the biggest problems in leverage trading that has come about in crypto is these stop hunters, right? These stop hunters that magically have a way to take you out of your position with a big scam wick, with like it's called, like we call it a scam wick, 5, 10, 15-minute wick that just, drops all the way down and comes completely back up. And if you're in a leverage position on these platforms, that's it. You're done. It takes your money and you go on to your next trade and you hope that there's no scam wicks next time. You don't have that in options. You don't have that in options. You can place a bet on options and you could have a scam wick that wicks down to, that wicks down 30%. You don't have those, but let's say it wicks down 30%. You're still going to be in your position. And if by expiration it goes back to normal, you're profitable, right? You don't get taken out and shaken out like you do in leverage trading. And that is only one of the advantages. I mean, it would literally take me all day to explain just how powerful options are. So aside from hedging yourself as well is another thing that you can do on options. You can. So let me compare. If you're in leverage trading and you want to hedge yourself, one of the big things that people do is if it's going through a little bit of weakness, in a long, they'll take a short position to kind of like even themselves out, right? And then it's neutral, and you don't make money, you don't lose money, but you're not out of your position, right? You don't have to do that in options. If in options, if I've had a long run up and I'm in profit, a lot of profit, all I have to do is simply buy a put option, right? And the most I can lose at that point, after I've bought a put option, is the small amount of money that I've paid for that put option, for that insurance. Just like a car insurance, right? If you pay car insurance every month, that small little premium, it's also called premium, then if you wreck your car one day and you total your car, they pay you the amount of money back. And the only thing that you lose is the money that you paid every month. The same thing for options. If you want to hedge yourself, you buy a put, you pay a little bit of money for that put. And if Bitcoin goes to zero, you exercise that put and you get your money back, right? You cannot do that in leverage trading, right? And again, I can go on all day about these advantages, but the best advice I can give you guys, if you want to learn the advantages, just go to my Discord. I have my Discord link up on my Twitter profile, and it's for free. And you have someone here with 15 years experience that's trying to tell you guys and teach you guys how to do this. I would hope that everyone takes advantage of it.
I'm for sure going to start visiting the Discord more often to check out the options. You have educational content there to start up?
Yeah. So as I said, it's a work in progress. I have so many coals in the fire and stuff on my shoulders that I'm trying to do every week one little article on options, and I have, I don't know, about 7, 8, or 9, but I have good primers there. I have a good primer article on options that I think everyone should go and read. As far as courses go, listen, options can get so advanced. I mean, at the pinnacle of options, I earn a living through making income. Right, income trades. You see it. I post them all the time on my Twitter, 3 times a week. So there's levels to this, and I will say this, that I'm trying to teach everyone for free. When we get to the advanced levels, I'm also going to try and teach those for free. If at whatever point it takes up too much of my time, if it's too complex at that time, then I might charge. But the goal right now is not to charge. The goal is honestly right now is to teach people to become the best option traders they can be. And the courses later that'll come, the courses that I will teach will be on income streams, and that is the pinnacle of option trading. But for right now, yeah, all the courses you need are in the Discord articles, and I promise you, every week I'm going to be adding to them. And I think in a good 2 or 3 months, if someone goes there, they're going to have all the option information they want. And you must compare this to people like, to show you the value. You have people like, I don't know if I'm allowed to drop names on the Discord, on the podcast here, but people like Tone Vase is charging, he's not even a full-time option trader. And this guy is charging $3,000 for an option course. And you can get this information free on my Discord. So yeah, no reason for option courses, man. Just get on the Discord and start engaging with us and reading what I put out. That's all you need to do. And then I tell you what, the best advice I can do for someone wanting to learn options is to go make a stock account on one of their platforms, because they have paper trading accounts, right? So I know it's complicated and that might make people nervous, but go sign up for a Charles Schwab or a Thinkorswim platform account and paper trade my trades that I make, or ask me for some ways to trade it. It won't be too long until I start making income strategies and posting them. The first one that I will be making is a covered calls. But to recap, yeah, I will be making option courses, but right now you can get that on my Discord.
Cool. It would be nice if when you enter options trade, you would live stream or even have it pre-recorded to share it.
Yeah, I think I can do that. That's a great idea. That's a great idea, actually. I have started making videos. I just got this mic. Thank you for waiting an extra week to do this podcast. Panama asked me to do this podcast a week ago, and I tested my mic out on my computer on my laptop and realized it sounded like I was at the beach. So so with that said, yeah, I will be making more videos to come of my trades, my option trades. And I have started committed to doing that actually on my Discord as far as the crypto options. But you've now given me an idea. I think I will actually do that for some of my SPX income trades, because I know a lot of people are interested in that. So thank you for that idea.
We'll definitely check that out. So John, Bitcoin and SPX correlation. You think crypto will follow SPX if it crashes?
So there's been a lot of talk about this this year, right? There's been a lot of talk and controversy, because what we saw with the crash in the stock market, and then crypto didn't crash right away, and people were thinking that it was a hedge, right? It was the perfect hedge, and then what happened? Crypto crashed. And when it crashed, I told people that the reason why it crashed is because it was following the stock market. And let me give you some of my insights of thinking about that. So, because I believe the same will happen. I do believe that. Now, listen. I do believe that if the stock market crashes hard enough and violent enough, then yes, I do believe that crypto will have the same fate. And let me tell you why. You're getting to the point, and we don't realize it, but there are a lot of institutions and big players that are coming into crypto. I know this because I talk to a lot of the guys. I'm in communications with the second biggest, I don't know if I could say this, in Grayscale. I talked to one of the guys that are one of the biggest fund investors there. And I will tell you that the way a fund thinks is that they're mostly invested in stocks, right? If they're going to invest in crypto, it's not going to be a big part of their portfolio. So naturally, if the stock market crashes hard enough and they're taking losses on their balance sheets and on their portfolio, the first move that hedge funds and institutions take is to raise capital and protect capital. And that comes, at the detriment of taking profits elsewhere and everywhere, right? And I guarantee you that something as speculative crypto, that's one of the first places after they realize that they're in for bad times, they're going to start selling. They're going to start raising capital and taking profits. I will say that I think it's gotten better, because I think a lot of institutions are in it for the long game. But that doesn't change the fact that if, SPX has a 30% crash, these guys are going to go into survival mode. There's no question about it. Now we'll get a little bit further. That doesn't mean that, crypto won't crash, and then once they get more comfortable with what's going on in the stock market, that it won't rebound before stocks. I can see that being a possibility. But to answer your question, yes, I do believe if the magnitude of the crash in stocks is big enough, that no doubt that crypto will follow the same fate, at least temporarily. Yes.
Same as with commodities like gold and silver.
Gold is a different animal, right? Gold is a different animal, and there's so many things that go into gold, whether it's, looking at the gold miners and stuff like that. Gold is thought to be a hedge against equities, right? But the same concept that I'm talking about, if you look at when we had the crash in equities, gold followed. It followed afterwards. It had a crash in March. It had the same crash, right? So that's what I'm trying to get, to answer this question. I'll let you know from my experience. It doesn't matter what it is. If institutions and fund managers are having drawdowns before they lose their job and lose their standing as a portfolio manager, they're going to take profits everywhere, and no one is immutable to that, whether it's gold or Bitcoin. The only question is, how long do those hedged, those assets that are viewed as hedges, how long do they stay down is the question. But initially, they will all have a dip from people selling and raising capital. Yes.
So basically, a capital flight into fiat because cash is king.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it from the portfolio manager's perspective. If you're a portfolio manager and you've been doing well, and you have this company that you're so proud of, and the stock market crashes, and let's say you're over leveraged because we've been having a bull run, and the stock market does nothing but go up, and you want to produce great returns, and you've been doing so, and now all of a sudden you have this crash that is unexpected. And the risk for you is losing your job as a portfolio manager if you make the wrong decisions, right? So if this gets worse, you could lose your lifestyle. So it makes sense that in the decisions of a portfolio manager, if they think that they're really in danger, they are going to sell everything and wait to reevaluate the situation.
So this gets me to the last question, John. What's your overall market forecast for the end of this year, both for legacy and crypto?
Okay. So let's start with stocks. Let's start with equities. My forecast, and I hate doing forecasts, right? Because I'm a believer that you don't tell the market what to do. You wait for Mrs. Market to tell you what to do. But yeah, sure. Let's get into some forecasts. I believe that the U.S. government has figured out a way to really control stocks at this point. I think they found their golden goose with this unlimited printing of money, and then they went to buying bonds, and now they've got the green light to buy stocks, right? And people kind of underestimate this and forget about how powerful this is, but realize that the U.S. government does not want stocks to fail. Neither does the president, right? And no matter what president it is, and we're at an election year where the stock market could be the overall deciding factor in whether Trump gets reelected or not. And I'm not advocating Trump. I actually try and stay out of politics. All I care about is making money. But the fact of the matter is, we are in an election year, and nothing is more detrimental to the president right now than keeping the stock market pumped up. So they were going to figure out every which way they can do that. And I think they found their golden goose. I have let it known that I am going to be long and buy every dips on the equities this year. So for equities, yes, I am a believer that it is bull, but I will also, again, just warning, I will always let Mrs. Market tell me and confirm my bias before I make decisions. As far as the crypto markets, I have never been, 2017 came out of the blue as far as the bull run, but as far as the market environment for Bitcoin, and for what I understand that it is at this point, there's never been an environment so bullish for Bitcoin that I've ever seen. So people might throw shade at me for saying this, but it is my belief that if we don't hit all-time highs this year, that our next opportunity is going to be next halvening. And that's a lot to say, but that is my belief that we are going to be in a bull market this year for both stocks and crypto, because the macro environment is just the best it's ever been. And if we can't do that this year, it'll be next happening, in my opinion.
And with that, we end our episode. Very happy to have hosted John Wick on Point Blank. Thanks for coming on, man. Can you tell us where we can find you?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for having me, man. This has been a very fun first podcast for me. So thank you so much. And yeah, let me tell you where you can find me, guys. Again, on Twitter, my name is John Wick, my handle. As far as my tag, it is 0hedge_. And I have all my information there. I've posted my Discord link in my header, and also where you can find my indicator. And guys, don't forget, I want to give you guys the opportunity to try my indicator first. I'm so proud of it. So I will go make a post here in the next 10 minutes about everyone listening on the podcast. And all you have to do again is just put in your comment your TradingView username, and I will send everybody a free trial of the indicator. Again, Panama, thanks for having me on my first podcast.
My pleasure. And thanks for listening. Until next time, peace. This episode was brought to you by PrimeXBT, the exchange where you can trade without KYC on legacy markets with your Bitcoin. You can trade commodities like gold, silver, oil, even indexes and forex. Join now and get a 50% bonus on top of your deposit for trading at u.primexbt.com/Panama.